Newark, New Jersey. I grew up in the projects, Baxter Terrace. My mother actually put the basketball in my hand. She used to put me over her shoulder and, shoot the ball, shoot it. So I got it basically from her.
Ortiz with the rebound. And here he goes. Right to the basket. Ortiz driving to the basket, the bucket, and the foul.
I started my journey just playing outside, street ball, but I always learned to play with the older cats. So that was my thing, that put me ahead. Newark is an inner poverty city, so basketball kind of separates you from that because it opens up more gates, more doors that I probably wouldn't have had if it wasn't for basketball. So it made me closer to a lot of people from different communities, different connections, and just like opening my mind more to life.
Last year, Kenneth Ortiz from Wagner was the NEC's Defensive Player of the Year, and, well, quite frankly, he didn't do anything to lose that honor, so they gave it to him once again this year. He becomes the 5th Defensive Player of the Year for Wagner, the first to win it back-to-back seasons or to win it twice. He joins Tristan Blackwood and Michael Kierce as the only multiple Defensive Player of the Year award winners in Northeast Conference history.
I was a 1,000-point scorer, too, in college, which isn't easy. Especially playing defense and then being able to score. I played both ends of the court. I just like to win. People notice it, but they don't know the effect I had on winning unless they played against me or coached me and see, it's the little things that don't show up on the stats. The hustle, the leadership, the motive, the refuse to lose mentality, the heart. I would say that was overshadowed because the 3-time defensive player is like, oh, he's a great defender. But I also won a lot of games in college, period, which isn't easy. So I would say it's a lot of little stuff that, I would say, that don't show up in the stats that was overlooked. But it's now, I can say, I feel like that's what the game's missing. Because a lot of people just looking at scoring and cats finish with 40 and then lose.
Finally gets it into Murray, turn around on the left, no good off the side of the backboard, rebound Ortiz, oh, and he hit it from an impossible angle from the left baseline, behind the backboard, and Wagner wins if they can.
I played under Hurley. I don't know if you know about him or the background of his family. So he kind of prepares you on a professional level, period. And so I was blessed to have that, that training and that type of physical work. But going professional overseas, it's I would say it's actually more harder as far as things outside of basketball. The life of adjusting, of being on your own, really on your own, and you gotta get to workouts, you gotta work your own self out now. In college we had schedules, we had, certain trainers for that. But professionally, you just gotta go out there and want to do it yourself. But you're dealing with grown men, and that grown men strength and athleticism, college is like that too, but it's a little bit different, it's more physical overseas. I played mainly in Latin America, which is, I'm Puerto Rican and black, so it was lovely, to tell you the truth. I was living a vacation / professional life, so it was lovely. It's a good and bad, like I said, you're being away from family, but mainly being around the culture. I'm Spanish, so I was accepted. But I will tell you, I've been to Ukraine. I called my agent, and that I had to have a talk because it's a cultural shock. I don't speak their language. I don't understand nothing. Their lifestyle's a little bit different. The way they even handle professional sports, I think it's a different type of mindset, and just adjusting to different people, different world thoughts, and starting all over again because you rebranding yourself on a professional level. They understand you was a good high school and college player, but it's no, you new to this now. You got to show us something, and it was I wouldn't say it was hard, but it was a challenge that you had to tackle. I remember making the playoffs in Puerto Rico, and in the contracts it's like, for every round you make, you get a bonus, such and such. But what they don't tell you is if you don't make the playoffs and all that, that contract you sign is gonna get put on hold. And what I heard from more than just my experience, it's like that in other countries, you know what I'm saying? They hold on to your money, they make you, you may sign for a certain amount, and if you ain't winning, you ain't gonna see that certain amount. And that's things that you have to start making decisions now. Like, do I want to stay? Do I want to leave? Do I want to go somewhere else? Do I want to just take this L? But the funny things is like just bumping into different types of people, and they treat you like a superstar. You'd be surprised how like the level of status that they hold us to in other countries. And but my wildest experience there was going into a party and seeing my coach there. And just seeing them, like, from being strict and on a professional, demanding, to just flat out having a good time, I'm gonna say. I was blown away from that, because, in college and high school, you're not even gonna bump heads with your coaches or in that type of facility. Now you all grown men, and it's a different thing, It was just, and then having to ignore that you seen coach like that and get back right into the profession. We gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and work out, and he cursing you out, knowing the night you and him had. You gotta love the game. That makes it a little, easier, because if you love it, anything you love, you're gonna fight hard for. You're gonna go through whatever it takes to, to get on the other side. And winning, man. Winning cures everything. As much as, like you said, the long seasons, you may be banged up, you may be physically, mentally drained, but when you win, it's like you just hit the reset button. So to me, my lifestyle is about winning whatever. I'm competitive, and I know how good it feels to win. So, and I was fortunate to, to win even little tournaments within college, within whatever. And like I said, it's like a pat on the back when you win, because it shows that everything you going through or went through was worth something.